Hello everybody. It's good to see you once again. If you would, by the way, I am trying to set up a new camera and a new computer. Don't know how this is going to work or how good this is going to work out for a while, but just bear with me and we'll get through all this. If you will, turn to Colossians chapter 1, and we are going to look at Colossians chapter 1, 15 through 17. Paul says, "He is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of all creation, for by him all things were created, both in the heavens and on the earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities. All things have been created through him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together." Now there are a couple of things that we can look at here in Colossians, and one of it is Paul says Jesus is the image of the invisible God. Now, let's think about this for a minute. Paul says that when you see Jesus, you see God. And that's the way it should be. You know, we don't really know what Jesus looks like, and it really doesn't matter what he looked like, did he? Or does it? But we know what he is and how he is by the way he was on this earth. He is exactly the way God is. Jesus cares for you and me. He wants you and me to be with him eternally, and so he does what the Father says that he needs to do. He says what the Father wants him to say. Jesus says that to the Jews in John. I believe in John chapter 8. He says that he doesn't say anything on his own initiative, but what his Father tells him to say. I believe it's John chapter 8. Well, in John chapter 8, verse 41, Jesus says that if God were your Father, you would love me, for I proceeded forth and have come from God, for I have not even come on my own initiative, but he sent me. And so we see that Jesus didn't even come to this earth on his own initiative, but he came because God the Father said, you need to go and save mankind. It's the only way they're going to be saved. And so we see Jesus, or we see God through Jesus. Everything there is to know about Jesus, he is with us. And we need to understand that. Now, something else in this is that Paul says, for by him all things were created. And they were created for him, or by him. By him, through him, and for him. Nothing in this universe that we can see, nothing as far as our eyes can see, wherever we go in this great big universe, whatever we see, whatever we could possibly see, it was created by Jesus, through Jesus, and for Jesus. And Paul says, He is before all things, and in him all things hold together. Now, I don't know about you, but just the very thought of everything being held together, everything that we see, as far as we can see, the vastness of the universe, the smallest itty-bitty molecule, Paul says Jesus holds all things together. Jesus is creation. Jesus is the reason why we believe that the sun is going to rise tomorrow. Jesus is the very reason why the sun is shining in the first place. Everything is held together by him. I don't know about you, but that scares me. That scares me to the point to know that I'm very small in how I fit into this great big universe. And yet, Jesus, Paul says in verse 13, rescued us from the domain of darkness and transferred us to the kingdom of his beloved Son. Talking about God. God rescued us, but it was through Jesus, his beloved Son, that we have redemption, the forgiveness of sins. The very person that holds all things together in this universe died for you and me so that God could rescue us. What a marvelous thought. What a marvelous thought indeed. That the Godhead that decided to give up his preeminence, to give up his place in heaven, his equality with God for just a short time, to come to this earth to die for me and for you, so that I might have forgiveness of sins. I pray that you're doing good, and I pray that you are staying healthy. And I hope that you enjoy these little videos, and I pray that sometime soon we will all be together and that we will all rejoice. And I will see you soon. Thank you, and God bless.